What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are back with career mode, and this is the big one, the Monaco Grand Prix episode number 51, the number of my favorite racing drive of all time. See if you can guess down in the comments. I'd be surprised if you guys got it. Anyway, here we are for this episode, delegating some activities, basically mainly just towards team acclaim, driver acclaim, and also boosting the stats of Sebastian Vettel if we can. I don't know why I'm trying to help out my championship rival, but I like to make things a challenge for myself. Can you tell? Anyway, here we are for this round, and we're going to do a major air upgrade. That's for the drag reduction, and that'll hopefully go in the car in time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku with that massively long start finish straight. So that'll hopefully maintain our ascendancy heading into what is pretty much a power track, but heading into Monaco this episode. And you can see Mercedes have made some major gains. That's an upwards curve that was greater than the jump from Netherlands to Spain for us, and that was an ultimate upgrade. So it looks like Mercedes have done an ultimate upgrade plus maybe a major or a couple of minors, and that's really helped their I guess acceleration towards us in the performance index. But performance index is one thing, pace on track is another. But you know, Mercedes have been able to take the fight to us most rounds, and with that major or ultimate upgrade, they should be a formidable force here in Monaco. So we can't take them lightly. Lewis Hamilton has been well on form this season. He was a bit nowhere in Season 2, but Season 3, it looks like he's back to his best and outperforming Bottas, just like he does in real life. But Monaco Grand Prix, we're going to load our setup. We have a couple of setups for Monaco, but this is my most recent one, and one which I use when I go online. So hopefully it will be good for us as we head out now for Friday practice, doing the track acclimatization test, braking for Raskas. And you can see we go completely straight on. My throttle there was stuck. Which is a problem which happens not very often, but it's caught me out here because it's Monaco and there's barriers everywhere. There is literally no runoff. So my real life throttle was stuck down a little bit, and it basically just set me straight on into the barrier. Thankfully, we haven't lost a wheel. We haven't lost FP1 entirely. We have lost the front wing, which will take a few minutes to get changed, but that's the kind of distraction you don't want. It's certainly unsettling when your hardware starts to fail on you, but thankfully that's only a minor issue, and it only really happens when I boot up the game for the first time in a while, or occasionally. It only happens like maybe once a week or 2 weeks or something like that. And normally if I pull the throttle back with my foot towards me, it normally fixes itself. But unfortunate that it cost us time there. Anyway, we go out for the rest of the session. We're doing a race program here. I just thought it was interesting to show you guys the traffic that we encountered on said lap. We complete the program, and then Kvyat there has a little go at us into turn 1, which was interesting. So here he pulls out of the way, lets me go, and then he doubts himself and has another go into turn 1. So he couldn't really make up his mind there. But in the end, it is top of the session for us. We did a qualifying run, albeit not a good one. So when we get to qualifying itself, hopefully we can showcase better pace than that. Otherwise, a relatively clear session. Actually, a pretty messy session, actually. But in the end, we got everything we wanted out of it, and we can move on to the next portion of the weekend with a good setup, a good flow and momentum going around here. I'm expecting big things. We need a win. We need pole to beat our teammate. So here we go then for the Monaco Grand Prix. As you guys know, qualifying is pretty much everything around here, so just pretty much count this as the race. Welcome to the race for the Monaco Grand Prix. No, anyway, Q1, no need to show you that. We're a front-running team now. It's a one-hit wonder is Q1, at least at Monaco anyway, and we're able to get through there without any issues. Q2, we're recycling instead of soft compound tires, the set that we used in Q1. And it was actually, I put in a pretty competitive time with that. So tire wear upgrades, meaning that we could probably get away with using 2 sets of tires, or 2 runs on the same set of tires at some tracks if we're competitive enough. But for Q2, I'm going to try and qualify on the medium compound tire and do the contra strategy of staying out long and overcutting everyone in an effort to win this race. I think we've got the pace to make it into Q3 with a medium compounded tire. I know that my qualifying has been average as of late, but this is Monaco. This is my holy grail, and if there's anywhere where I can get away with this strategy, it is here. So I'm going to back myself to do it. We're doing it with like 7 minutes to go, so there is time for me to do another lap on softs if I don't feel safe. But the time that I did on softs on the banker run was a 7.8, which is actually pretty fast. So I'm going to be hard-pressed to actually beat this time on the medium compounded tire, but I'm going to give it my best shot through the Nouvelle chicane there. Decent rotation into the 3rd sector now, and this set of tires should only get stronger up against the used softs we used earlier. So let's see how we go. Flying through the final sector, which is the sector of dreams for me. This is where I make up all my time up against the AI. Really nice flowing run through the final 2 corners up to the line, and we do improve. We go P1, as you can see, weaving the wheel as we cross the line. That is massive for our weekend, because now we are going to get through to Q3 on a harder compounded tire, and our chances of winning this race have just gone up massively. So there we go. In the end, it is P3 for Q2. Vettel looking pacey as ever. He may still get pole position, but even with our strategy, I don't mind being out-qualified by Vettel. Ideally, I'd still want to beat him, but this medium compound strategy gives us options later on in the race. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited for the rest of the weekend now as we head into Q3. With that, it means that we have actually 3 sets of soft compound tires to use in this session. I'm not going to be silly. I'm only going to use 1 though. I'm only going to use 2 sets. And I'm going to save a brand new set of soft tires for the race. So I'm only going to do 2 runs here. I could get away with 3, but like I said, I want to save a set. So that's exactly what I am doing. As you can see, this is our banker lap here on the soft compound tire. The time to beat is a 107.1, which Vettel did in Q2. So anywhere close to that would be nice. We go even faster into the 6s for the first time this weekend, and that could well be provisional pole position for this Monaco Grand Prix. Oh man, I love it when I nail a lap at the start of the session, because then it gives me free reign for the second run, and that is exactly what we're going to do. Fast forwarding time to the end, final minutes of the session now, and we are just going to go ballistic here on this last lap to see if we can lower the marker even further. The 6.9 that I did was a good lap, but it's still not perfect. I could probably go faster by a couple of tenths. And then you got to factor in track evolution as well. So maybe an absolutely alien F1 Esports kind of lap could be a mid-6 or something. I don't know. I'm sure the F1 Esports guys would really put me to shame doing 5s or something. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, we're up by a 10.5 as we approach the middle sector now and go through the Nouvelle chicane. I went in a little bit fast here, and you can see that tightened up the radius on exit. So that cost me a bit of time through the to back corner, nudging the wall on exit, basically using up all the road purple through the middle sector up to the final chicane, and that is where it has all come undone for us there. Went in a little bit too fast, trying to carry too much apex speed, and that is one of those rare opportunities where it has all come undone. Honestly, in qualifying, and especially in Q3, I like to build things up and get to a comfortable level, and by Q3 I really am throwing the car around, and especially when I had that banker time in, I was going to go pretty crazy, and you know, that time we overstepped the marks, but in the end it's still pole position for us. But Yeah, very, very happy with how qualifying went there. But it would have been insane to see that lap fully completed. Could have been a 0.7 maybe. But in the end, it's pole position. We're starting on the medium, and that is all that matters. So heading into the race of the Monaco Grand Prix, I'm feeling very, very confident. We can't get ahead of ourselves, though. Anything can happen, safety cars, etc. We haven't won here yet. It's not a given. So I just want to get the job done. That starts with a start.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
Great. Well, that's everything.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino, first opened in 1863. And, of course, a certain road race, first held here in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Thanks, Jeff. Optimistic as ever. Pole position. Fastest car on the grid, but he's still hoping for a top 10. When will you ever learn, Jeff? Anyway, welcome to the grid of the Monaco Grand Prix. Enjoy your stay. This is the most luxurious grid you will ever have the grace of walking. How sick would that be? Be on the grid of an F1 race. Goals. Anyway, medium to soft, lowering the fuel load, an absolute crap ton, but it's now time to focus on this start, which is what we've been setting up for all weekend. Away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix, and it actually looks like a great start for us. Straight up into overtake, pretty much out of second gear. Didn't go up in a rich, and you can see I'm very, very happy with how that start has transpired for us. We lead the grid here in Monaco on the opening lap of this race here, and we've got Vettel in P2, Hamilton third, Verstappen fourth, Bottas, who was originally on the mediums in Q2, in fifth. I bet he's probably wishing he's on mediums now. He was safe on that set of tires, but then he opted for softs at the end. Anyway, let's see how that strategy unfolds for them as we ride on board with our teammate going underneath the tunnel for the first of 39 laps. Vettel having a little look into the Novo chicane, but deciding against it. It's very early on. Don't want to be squabbling away on lap 1 when we've got the Red Bulls and the Mercedes in close proximity. I've made a mistake here, and I've accidentally left my overtake on for the whole of this lap. I hope that that doesn't cost me at the end of lap 1 here. Thankfully, we're in sector 3, and that's where I'm actually really fast. I'm able to get away from Vettel, and in the end, he wasn't close enough to have a go at me there. So we maintain the lead for the time being. Fast forwarding time, and this is my first flying lap. Let's see if we can put in a purple sector and just kind of confirm the pace at the early stage of this race. That would be nice to have better pace than Vettel on a harder compounded tyre. The longer that this race wears on, the stronger we will get. Basically, Vettel will have soft compound tyres on, which will wear out faster than my mediums. The concerning thing here is Vettel will get an undercut, and he will be on fresher medium compound tyres, which he'll be able to close me in with. So that's an area, just one segment of the race I'm slightly worried about. If I wanted to be ultra sweaty, what I could do is actually back Vettel into the pack until his pit stop, wait for him to pit, and then bolt. But that would be very counterproductive in terms of the team's championship. And I'm not going to resort to those levels of things. I'm just going to march on with my own race and see if I can build a gap to Vettel and then win the race sportsmanly, basically. Fastest up of the Grand Prix, 1 minute 10.1 on lap 4 there. So we are getting faster as this race wears on. But one thing we need to be wary of is looking after the rear tyres. We've got a long way to go on this set of tyres, stopping around lap 30.
That's Sebastian behind. The gap to the car behind is 1.4 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 4 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:11.0.
1:11.0 for Vettel. So we were a second faster than him last lap. This time around, we're a little bit slower. We weren't going for a maximum push lap, but that's still 3/10 better than his last lap. We are starting to stretch out the margin now. 3.2 seconds and rising, as Vettel's tyres will have seen their best now, and they'll only be diminishing towards the end of this stint. He might be coming in now, maybe. This is lap 11. Just have to wait and see. My tyre wear is still under 20%, and Vettel is in. So there we go. He's doing a one stop in this race. I pray that for his sake that he doesn't go on the hard compound tyres, and he does not. He's going on the medium. So good boy realizes that the tyre wear is good enough to use the two softer compounds here in Monaco. I think you can even do that from season 1 onwards. It is a bit of a stretch, but it is possible. But yeah, in the end, Vettel rejoins in decent track position as well. So me and Vettel were able to clear out from the rest of the field by about 15 seconds to the nearest car. Here you can see Vettel overtaking Albon on old soft compound tyres. That's a great move from Vettel there. Decisive as well, as he needs to clear the traffic in an effort to start closing in on me on my older tyres. So here's the replay, up the inside to back. That's so brave to show the nose there, and great driving from Albon as well. The situational awareness to leave the space and I guess be cooperative in that move, and just letting him go. There was a lot of time lost in that move, but regardless, great move from those guys nonetheless. We have Antoine Hubert in P4 effectively in this race, and I think one of the racing points looking pretty handy as well in P3. So watch out for that. No, it's Danny Kvyat, my apologies, who is in effective 3rd place. So everyone who qualified outside the top 10 and is starting on a medium compound tyre is always a really solid shout of a podium here in Monaco. The likes of Hamilton has rejoined behind the Hubert, Kvyat and Magnussen train, and he's actually behind a couple of Williams and Haas drivers as well. So he might be really struggling to beat the likes of Kvyat and Hubert in this race, because he'll be stuck behind their cars. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. But you can see Hubert is in now for his hard compound tyres, and he's going to go to the end of the Grand Prix on those. It'll be very close to see if he jumps Hamilton in the stops, and it looks like he has. He's rejoined in P7. I know he's still in the pit lane coming out of it, though. But Hamilton is down in P15 and is looking pretty vulnerable. So too for everyone who started inside the top 10, made an early dive on their soft compound tyres. They've rejoined behind the back markers, and they can't overtake them. Here we are on board with Hamilton. He is stuck behind Antoine Hubert in the Ferrari, and this is now for position. So Hubert is going to get effective P5 in this race at worst. He got jumped by Magnussen in the pit lane, and now Kvyat is going to be standing on the podium at the end of the day if this continues for the rest of the race. As you can see, I'm pushing on my old medium compound tyres, narrowly grazing the wall there, but we just about got away with that. So at this stage of the Grand Prix, I'm trying to push like crazy because Vettel is within my pit window. 14 seconds is the gap, and I'm now closing up to lapped cars. So we're about 3 laps away from my pit window, where I'll be boxing for soft compound tyres. I want to make sure that that delta is as large as it possibly is, so that I have less work to do later on in the Grand Prix on my softs. I will have to overtake Vettel, and I'm going to have to overtake some lap cars as well to do so. Here's Vettel. He's catching up to a couple of lap cars himself. Hopefully they can slow him up. But this Monaco Grand Prix is going to get very tasty between the Marduk Motorsport boys. We get past Ocon, who lets me go in a weird place. But yeah, we're getting ready for the final stop, the only stop of this race for us. And from the moment that Vettel made his pit stop, I realized that I was starting to lose front grip, actually. It wasn't the rear tires I was struggling with. I was actually looking after those by using higher gears. I never really used first gear on the mediums. And yeah, just when it came to these mediums, I was struggling for the front grip and just getting understeer everywhere, which is really unfortunate, which has allowed Vettel to catch me by about 10 seconds since he made his stop. So this is going to be a contentious finish here in Monaco. As you can see, Lando Norris coming back at me into the Nouvelle chicane, who recently let me go. and lapped himself. Yeah, got himself lapped. So that was a surprise for me, as my straight line speed isn't the best. I'm running at 811 wings, so in order to be so fast around here in Monaco, I am giving up that straight line speed, which does make me a little bit vulnerable in a straight line. I can be overtaken, and personally, it is harder to execute overtakes when your top end speed isn't quite there. But into the pit lane we go. 11 laps to go now, and we are going on to the soft compound tyre. We're going to be banging in some fastest laps, and we are going to see if we can catch our teammate Sebastian Vettel for the victory of this Monaco Grand Prix. We've got a few lap cars to contend with, and about 7 seconds of free air to close into to have a go at him. So we'll see if we can do it. We are going to be massively faster on our soft compound tyres. If Vettel's set of tyres react in any way that mine did, then he'll be struggling for grip as well at the back end of this race. So I'll hopefully look to expose that here and make the most of it and get my second win of the season if I can. So let's see. I desperately need a win here in this Monaco Grand Prix. Vettel has been running away with his championship far too much, and I'm looking to bring the momentum back to my side of the garage. And that starts now with this attempt at a fastest lap of the Grand Prix. 9 to go here in Monaco, and the gap is 5.3 seconds. I believe the delta from the soft to the medium is about 7/10 when they're both on equal footing. But, Vettel's tyres will be about 20 or so laps old now, and we've only just put these on. So there's going to be a massive disparity in pace now between myself and my teammates. So let's see if we can make the most of this. As you can see, making the most of this Monaco Grand Prix circuit, making it as wide as humanly possible. That is the secret to being fast around here. Through the Novo chicane, using up all the curbing there on entry, exit, and moving up to the third sector now through the Tabac sweeping curve and into the swimming pool chicane. Fourth gear through there, maximizing that entrance there. You can basically fly over the top of that curb with even with strict corner cutting rules. That is the one corner where you can go four wheels over the curb and get away with it. Up to the line, that is a monster lap. Cha-ching. 108.4. I unintentionally use monster as an adjective these days. Oh, I always have, but it's even more, I guess, fitting that I use that descriptive word in this season of career mode, because this car really is a monster. With behind when I'm driving it and when Seb is driving it, when us as a driver pairing are behind the wheel is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, 7 to go. And the gap is literally nothing. We've caught Vettel by like 2.5, nearly 3 seconds per lap over the last couple laps. And now we are absolutely flying in this Monaco Grand Prix, trying to go round the outside, shortchange him at the low hairpin, which we've done to so many drivers on this career mode journey we've been on so far. But we can't do it to Vettel. He's too good for that. And in too good of a car, even with his old medium compound tyres. That is just not physically possible. So we're going to have to think about other areas. Where are we fast? We seem to be really good on traction. Got a good run there. But unfortunately, the lap car of Nick de Vries was in the way and prevented us from having a go. So here you go. We got the overlap, and then the lap car just completely ruins that run. So here we go on slow-mo. Had a really good run with the Novo chicane. Good grip, good traction. Got on the power nice and early, and then here we've got the overlap, and without that lap car we go up the inside into the Tabac corner. Had to back out, not only to not run into the back of de Vries, but then I had to dodge Sebastian Vettel in time to not run into either driver. So it was an absolute nightmare, but we survived for the time being. 6 to go in this Monaco Grand Prix. And yeah, traction is the area where Vettel is really suffering. On my medium compound tyres, it was the fronts. It was understeer that I was suffering with. It looks like Vettel isn't really suffering in that way. Maybe he's just been not looking after the rear tyres too much, which is something I did pretty well in my stint, nearly up the inside into the Lowe's hairpin, but we decide better of it. We're going to be patient here if we can, but we can't be too patient because our tyres will start to quickly die off, and the advantage that we have will be nullified if we stay behind Vettel for too long, wasting all its energy trying to find a way past. Nice run through Raskas. That might be an area where we get the overtake done. We need to go a little bit slower in, take a wider line into Raskas, and then really punch it into the final corner. That could be an opportunity for us. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to outbrake Vettel into Raskas unless we get a super run into there. And we can't outbrake him into the Nouvelle chicane either because he's too good in a straight line for that. So traction is the way to go. Nice run through the final chicane. And here we go. Slow in, fast out, switch to the inside. And this is the move we need for the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Vettel leaving just enough space, a bit of contact. And now it's going to be a drag race up to the line to Saint Devots. No heroics into here, please, guys. And we do hold on. But crucially, we lead this Monaco Grand Prix with only a handful of laps to go now. 4 to go. And Vettel was looking ever threatening as we raced up the hill. His straight line speed prowess is something to marvel. Really have to watch out for that. Vettel's obviously gone for a lower downforce setup, and we can't afford to, take his pace for granted. As you can see, that's actually a bit of front wing damage for us there on the left-hand side end plates. So that small amount of contact we had with Vettel at the final corner, attempting to make the move for the lead, has actually given us front wing damage. So we'll have to be a bit careful now in the final few laps. Thankfully, we've still got enough pace to slowly stretch away from Vettel. We've now put Lando Norris between the two of us, and we can start to breathe a little easier. However, Norris has got good straight line speed and may re-overtake me, but hopefully that is not the case. Another bit of contact, and now we've got an orange front wing on the left-hand side. What is going on in this race? This has been such a messy weekend. I've had so many small moments where I've just got front wing damage. Here, just turning in too early for the casino square. You want to be over to the left-hand side as far as you possibly can because it opens up the radius of the right-hander, and just got it fractionally wrong there. It's a game of fine margins here in Monaco, and when you get it wrong, there are heavy consequences on simulation damage. So now we definitely are going to be slower than Vettel, and you can see the understeer we got through the Tabac corner. That's corner and the casino square when we come up to it on the final lap will be two areas where we are going to be diabolically slow compared to our teammate. Gap is 1.5. He's just clearing the final.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
He was just clearing the final bit of traffic. That was Antonio Giovinazzi, which he's now got past. And now it's just free air between myself and Vettel. Look at the understeer here. Not even taking the correct line through there. Such was the lack of downforce I had through there. So that was amazing. But this is the last lap, and Jeff was warning me that we can't sustain this level of damage. Thankfully, this is the last lap, and we can just nurse it home because the damage is just going to make it that much easier to understeer into a barrier when you've got less of a front wing on. It makes you more susceptible to lockups on this game. So that's also an area we need to watch out for. Vettel as well, so fast in a straight line. He's such a threat, and we really can't afford to underestimate him. We've lost our major strength, that being the downforce, and now we're left with our major weakness of just being slow in a straight line through the final chicane for the final time in this Monaco Grand Prix. Down into Raskas, massive lock up there. Final corner, just hold on for one more corner. And this will be our first victory around Monaco on F1 2020.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserve that race win.
Here he comes, the team boss, up on the top step of the podium. That, my friends, is what I call the loosey-goosey dance. Recently picked up in the old store on the F1 game, and thought I'd run that as a tribute to my old mate Daniel Ricciardo, who should be up here. Last race win here in 2018. I would love to see Daniel up here, and who knows, maybe we can get him up here in my team colours. We'll have to wait and see. But there we go. That's been a long time coming, I think. We couldn't go a career mode playthrough on an F1 game without winning at Monaco. We can safely end this series now with a win here. But yeah, there we go. Win in the end. Thankfully the race ended when it did, because if that would have gone on any longer, I think Vettel would have got me. He would have been too close, and then he probably would have got me on the straights, either on the start-finish straight into turn 1 or into the Novo chicane. Either one of those would have been a great spot for Vettel. His straight line speed was pretty crazy, and I don't know if you saw it on camera, but there were moments where I was following Vettel and I was just wowed by his corner exits out of Portier. Was amazing through there, punching it with overtake, obviously, and running with lower downforce. So that was a tough one, real tough one. I wasn't sure if I was going to catch him. Thankfully we did. His pace was formidable at the midway point of the race, if I can get my words out. But great for low money, 11.3 mil. I think we got nearly 2.6 mil from that race alone. So that was an invaluable race for us there, and to get the win here is always very, very special. I don't know about you guys. You probably think it's almost a given, a guaranteed win, but no, every time I come here, I really have to work for it. Have to be ultra concentrated to, you know, not stick it in the fence. You know, there's always the temptation to push that a little bit harder, to risk it. But then that's when the mistakes happen. As you saw, we made a few of those, losing our front wing multiple times over the course of the weekend. Monaco was all about confidence and building up your confidence, yeah, I guess. Just building up to it and pushing the boundaries ever so slightly. And you got to push at the right times. And, you know, at times, I felt like I pushed at the right times, just maybe lapse of concentration as to how I lost my wing, especially in the penultimate lap. That shouldn't have happened. But the Vettel one, yeah, it was very, very tight at the last corner. But anyway, it was a good battle. We finally got the measure on our teammate in a 1v1 battle. I think, I didn't even see who finished on the podium. I think it was Kvyat. Either way, third place was a long way back. And again, that's down to the leaders stopping early and getting caught up behind back markers. And then they're just restricted to back marker pace for the rest of the race, essentially. And whoever's lead midfield runner on mediums can capitalize, make the most of that, and then make a pit stop and still rejoin ahead of the people who have already stopped earlier. So it's, yeah, a real cause for concern if you can't clear the traffic or build out a gap in the opening stint, which is exactly what me and Vettel did. There's the replay of the overtake. But, yeah, in the end, we won 26 points. Can't complain with that. Let's move on to the next race and see if we can take the fight to Vettel once again.